Hi everyone, welcome to this general reading. I've already been on a bit of a roll via my TikTok account, which I honestly never thought I would rock with, but here we are. I would like to zone in on particular energy, so I'm going to take what's in front of me in this moment. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which I'm taking to mean two things in this moment. And I'd like to just sit with those two things for a second before I continue. Okay, I guess they could both mean the same thing in a way. So the most important issue that I feel is the collective problem we're all dealing with right now is our sense of, and I don't know how else to put this without sounding too much in disillusionment is the word. I don't know how to say this without making myself sound like I am being unrealistic, but like without showcasing that I'm an unrealistic person. And I'm trying to say this from an extremely realistic place. And that is what is hilariously complicating the frequency. That's what makes all of the illusions that we witness and live on a daily basis so intelligent. This restrictive way of perceiving things that we have chained ourselves to. We are just so loyal to thinking that there won't be enough, or that decisions that we make will yield any problem that we can't overcome, or any problem that won't be fruitful for our lessons and learning. Like, the sense of detachment from our divine stories, from the divine order of our stories, is becoming a lot. Like, it's enough now, you know? I saw this reel where Stefan Burns was talking about his view of what it means to be in the age of Aquarius. I'm seeing now if I can try to find the reel, but I want to mention, and I did find it, thank goodness. I want to mention how important I think it is. Sorry, I'll link it in the description just to have it there then to remind myself. I want to mention how important I think it is. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I wanted to mention what Stefan Burns mentioned in that reel, which is the difference between believing and sitting in the wonderland versus practically applying the rules and beliefs, the system of the wonderland. Like, it's like we've been looking at it and witnessing it as this bubble, and only inside that bubble, or only inside those specific moments, is the divine present with us. Are we able to exercise a limitless belief and possibility? It's like a lot of us have only said to ourselves, we can only dream or do things that connect to God or whatever in certain situations. When I face the lack sense of life, the thing that heals me almost instantly, and what's been helping me through my healing, the thing that helps me facing this, which I feel is a holding on from the inside, like you're literally holding yourself back. Virgos love to do this. Aquarius, Scorpio, we love to do this. The thing that sets me free immediately is remembering how that divinity is it's my embodiment. When I pray and I talk to God in front of the candle, that is not the only place that I can address God. And I'm experiencing this myself actually in my own living, where I'm trying to take God with me. I'm trying to take that candle that I light every time I pray and keep it inside and keep it with me. Walk as if I always have a lit candle, like somewhere, on my head or some shit. It's comical, but it's in the sense that like I'm always walking with God. I'm always walking with my sense of divine freedom. This is the opposite of that to me. Someone who is completely lacking in their connection or sense of divine freedom and is so adamant, so loyal to tying and keeping yourself to the identity of, or any to identity. actually, to the identities of this reality. This is somebody who truly does not see their worth when they don't have any money. This is somebody who doesn't see their worth when they're not in a relationship. This is somebody who aggressively seeks external validation or validation from the world. This is someone who makes mistakes and feels totally fucked up about them. This is somebody who feels deeply unsafe about making impulsive decisions. Like someone who has a job, if you lost your job, you would immediately fall ill with the amount of immediate, instantaneous stress you feel about the fact that you don't have a job. You know what I mean? That's too much. That's too much. It's never it's really not like that. With the things of this earth and of this world, it's really not like that. We're so much bigger than this sense of greed. I also read into the possibility that this in reverse means you're letting go of that. Greed being attachment to stuff. We're letting go of that sense. That's why I said these things can go hand in hand, because this is the work that we're facing. Either way, work is being done to start identifying with the bigger picture and the greater senses of the world. I think that part of the predictions of our society's rise into, so it's been astrologically said that more of the collective are going to be rich and are going to be living in wealth and luxury. I don't think that that's literally the case and that everybody's going to be a millionaire. I think it's more that people are going to awaken, or it might be happening at the same time, actually. Maybe everybody does become millionaires. But at the same time, I think we're all coming into inner awakenings about what rich and luxury actually is. Because if you know how to tend to the land and grow your food, and even further, if you know how to manipulate other people, if you know how to persuade other people, if you know how to be a pleasure, you know what I mean? If you know how to be enjoyable and find yourselves in the right rooms, with the right generous people, do you know what I mean? Then you're not broke at all. And this sense is fake. This sense is a lie overall. It's an illusion. It's an illusion to be poor or to be broke. It's never that, ever. And tying back to the first thing I said, if you know how to tend to a land and how to grow your own food and how to tend to the flows of the earth, how can you be broke? How can you ever run out of anything that you need if you know how to work with life? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I feel called to remind you to release the standards, the expectations. Or I don't know, maybe you have high expectations. Okay, wait. Having expectations is fine. Having high expectations actually makes a lot of sense, because that's how you pass the difference between what you want and what you don't. And you have to get strict about what you do want in order to get what you want. So there's a very, very, very fine difference between being materialistic in a way where you allow all of the stuff to be your God, versus being materialistic in a way where you understand that you are the God of this thing. Yeah, actually, that's all. Let me shuffle and see more. This just felt like a very, very important frequency, because it feels like something, the money thing, the money stress thing, the financial things, it feels very, very deep right now. It feels like a lot of people are absolutely losing their state of regulation and peace in very new ways. People who used to be in control, especially in the terms of course, especially in terms of their right. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm feeling into a lot of people who were calm previously, who had been very, very calm about the way that their life flows and whatever. And now they're facing a dip where they're not feeling very calm. Things are going way too out of control in a way they're really not used to. And they're starting to really, really stress out, specifically about like rent, money, groceries, bills. Like the image of somebody looking at a bunch of paper at a table and just like holding their head. Yeah. I don't like, again, I don't know how to say this without sounding unrealistic and crazy and maybe like I'm validating your experience, but you have to be willing to cross this line. You have to be willing to look at the shit of life and look and alchemize it, stare right at it and turn it into a lesson. You have to be willing to do that. And if there's a part of you that maybe isn't able to get there, maybe it's just too much. The evils are too much. Because granted, there are definitely so many evil things happening that really have no root. On our human level is what you have to understand. On the human level, the baddest shit, and this is what I'm saying, we have to be willing to cross the line. You have to be willing to cross the line. You have to embody the wisdom now. You have to do it. Oh my God, do you see that? Did you guys, you see that? That's crazy. Anyway, the Hierophant is what I wanted to show, but the Death card clearly wants its thing. Oh my God, and then the Eight of Wands. Wait. Sorry, I have to sit Judgment. Page of Pentacles. Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, yeah. I'm going to continue with what I'm saying. You have to be willing to cross the line. You have to be willing to take the wisdom that you've learned seriously. Take spirituality seriously. Truly surrender and take it as far as thinking that your moments of financial strain, okay, every moment is a lesson and is something that you can conquer with patience and time, where you sit and you take each and every single incremental moment you are experiencing as a lesson of growth, where you are willing to sit in that uncertainty moment by moment. And I'm trying to get down to the root, because I understand the outside layer of somebody who's having financial worries and whatever. I'm trying to bring that link home to tell you that these financial worries and really everything, all problems that you go through, are an agreement that your soul made to as a greater picture of your story, which you do not have full sight of yet. So obviously there are going to be things that happen that don't make sense to you, that are just shit. Sometimes shit is just shit. But for the most part, that's just something you have to accept because you're a human. On God's level, though, that shit matters, and that's why it's there. And this is why, this is such a crazy line to toe, because you have to know the difference between, you have to be able to you have to be consistently willing to fight against feelings of victimhood and shame. You have to constantly be willing to remind yourself that you are not a victim of your story, and that everything that happens around you that may affect you in a negative way is happening for you to grow and to learn. It has to keep being thingied into your head. Like, you have to keep going with it. It's really annoying, and it can be so complicated to balance against feelings of deep rage over injustices or over potential bullshit you may be experiencing. And that rage, you are entitled to feel it. But at the same time, you have to be able to hold an internal wisdom, a consistent wisdom of knowing that your life is happening every moment as it should. Every moment. Do you know what I mean? Jeez, man. Then you have the Knight of Swords, and then you have the Tower. If you continue being stubborn about not recognizing where God stands in your life, because I'm also receiving just somebody who knows miracles are real. You know that you know what I'm talking about when I tell you about how life is an energetic experience, blah, 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 blah. But it seems like there's still a line that you're too afraid to cross. That line is going to grow legs and make you cross it. It's gonna bring you to it. You know what I mean? The Tower and the Devil, to me, is giving somebody who has spent way long either being entrenched in their deep shadows, in which case the tower that comes is something so amazing that you actually literally can't believe it, and you might really start like sobbing. I'm receiving a lot of emotion from this, straight up. I'm receiving erratic quickness, and I'm receiving the need to temper this, like try to breathe. Remember the learning process of your story. So either that, or somebody who is so avoidant of their shadows that those very same shadows creep up on them, either in a form of a depressive episode, which is very likely in these kind of things, these kind of lessons, anxious feeling, or just projecting in a very erratic way. Quick words that cut and can hurt, but are coming from a very wounded place internally. I would just like to, while I'm sitting here right now, look into the Four of Pentacles, as I would like to get, I'd like to reawaken my relationship with the Rider-Waite deck. I know everything about the Intuitive Tarot deck, and I think I'm very much too programmed into Scylla Conway's world in the way that she reads tarot. So I'm trying to reinstate myself into the traditional ways of reading. But that is what I'm getting. It feels very prevalent. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so I don't think I need to add any more. I feel like I've said everything that I need to say. It's interesting that the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles in reverse show up in this reading. This is giving potential misalignment, that something needs to happen, a necessary something needs to happen in you or someone around you's life in order for there to be a realignment, I suppose. But I looked now, and as I felt into in the beginning of the reading, this points more towards the fact that there is an alignment coming, as this is more of a misalignment. This is agreed, holding on to things very, very tightly in general. This is a releasing of that, accepting help when necessary, just opening up, man. Learning, overcoming the usual shadows, but specifically the one that says that you are worth nothing if you have nothing. I'm receiving the potential of somebody possibly experiencing that sense of having nothing so that they could understand how someone having nothing so that they can understand how little that nothing matters to who they truly are. I'm seeing some little tangent stories of a possible experience of grief. But it feels like the grief, it feels like someone grieving over a death that felt like it was coming. It just kind of sped up, So it like an elder, and the way an old person matures and then dies, it feels like it's just part of a cycle. But it will teach you and it will grow you. This may be relevant. Whoever it's relevant to, you'll know, you'll feel it. And I do not try to fearmonger with these things, so please don't take it to heart. Please don't take it to heart in a fearful way. That's what I'm trying to say. But this is very intense energy of honestly just a kind of avoidance that just needs to stop being avoided. This is lies and deceptions. This is somebody learning from their lies and deceptions. This is someone gaining karma from not following rules. This is the hand of karma coming down especially with the appearance of judgment, as I mentioned, I'd seen. That's very much a common theme amongst us as well collectively. People are getting what they signed up for. People fucked around and they're about to find out for real. For real. Very money based. Watch out for really, really, really shady behavior at work. Watch out for losing your temper at work. I'm seeing a situation between a boss and their employees, where somebody is just sick of a boss's nonsense. And yeah, the boss concedes. Okay, so basically just you will be surprised by the power of communication. Okay, now I'm receiving communication coming in swiftly regarding a really shitty system that needed to change. Someone is part of a system that is nonsense, that is running its laws very shadily, and they're about to get audited. Audited, yes. Yeah, this is an audit. I'm seeing an audit being done and some shit coming out of that. Like, ooh, it's very random. I'm seeing it also change, obviously, the structure of the workplace. Someone losing their job because they were like naughty, doing naughty things at work. This is also the end of a connection in that same way, where someone was doing naughty things and they got caught for it. Yeah, and then you have the hangman. So you have the Hierophant, the Two of Wands, and the hangman. Nothing to do but to really experience this process. I'm recording this during a new moon, January 2026. So it's a pretty interesting, this is a very interesting thing that's coming out of it. This does feel like a very potent new moon in which things cannot be hidden, plans must be set, intentions must be set, and people need to stop fucking around, basically, in all forms, in all ways. On a personal level how you've been fucking around if you have been. This is also the deck. These are also cards of accountability. Do not think you can evade accountability for anything. Be prepared to get your shit. By the way, I had this deck. I'd been picking it up, you'd seen, and it had the 3 of discs beneath the deck. You have 3 of discs. You have 3 of discs across both decks. It's very important that you be willing to grow. Be willing to grow. I'm seeing someone get called out for something, and you shouldn't. Don't shy away. Don't feel awkward about it, and just face your shit. You know what I mean? No one's perfect. Accept that about yourself, right? Accept that no one's perfect. Accept that you're absolutely not perfect, and you're gonna fuck up. Just be willing to change and grow. Be willing to grow, Be willing to grow. Face your shit. I'm going to shuffle for 1 card. Only 1. Read the interpretation. I knew it. Only 1, please. And leave it at that. Sometimes these cards are like an excited bunch of like little baby animals, and everybody wants to come forth and say something. But only one card, please. Just 1 card. We have the 6 of Cups and the 8 of Discs. The 6 of Cups I'll leave to chew on. The 8 of Discs is what fell right in front of me, right in front of my mic. So I will read that. Yeah. This is actually really brilliant closing energy in general. Equilibrium between spiritual and financial worlds, learning a trade or profession, enjoyable and fulfilling work, a creative outlet that may become an absorbing interest, happiness and solitude, working on basic life situations in order to be secure or to grow. Very important. On basic life situations. Basic life situations. So this is again like communication. Now I'm receiving somebody who needs to work on their communication in general, somebody who needs to reach out to people more. You have the Three of Cups beneath the Intuitive Tarot deck. The Hierophant also is to me also a card of tradition and of following like old practices, and something that I think as we're collectively forgetting is a very ancient practice is the act of engaging in community and being together with others, and not just the like, what I like to practice is how to be engaging and in the moment, and truly in an ancient sense of like taking away the phones and taking away technology. What does it mean for me to be able to have those things? You know what I mean? It's allowed for me to put more presence in the moments where I'm present, instead of trying to bypass through the presence of technology. So when I say when I feel like I miss someone, instead of feeling drawn to call them, which is an easy bet, I try to lean more towards thinking about ways I can see them and stay there first. I want to put my accountability, put my money where my mouth is in that way as often as I can. So that may be something that's helpful for you. Perseverance is the key word here as well through this energetic storm we're in. It's also part of why I made a collective, because it does feel on a collective level like we are really, really tired, and kind of like I'm getting the image of us walking through the desert and the sand is in our face and we're just like, yo. And we've seen enough mirages. We've heard enough of the Lord's voice in our heads telling us it's going to be okay. Yes, it will. Thank you. But can it be okay right now? Can the dreams happen right now? Can everything just happen right now? That's what I keep getting from the lot of us. We really want things to happen right now. Now. And the devil is kind of going like, there's still more work to do. There's still more, and it sucks. But it's also, it's coming from above. It's beyond our control. We are but puzzles of a very huge. We are but puzzle pieces of a very huge puzzle, and we just have to keep, doing our thing. I guess just keep doing your thing. Actually, more than anything, just keep doing your thing. And be grateful. Yeah. And try to be grateful. That's also this card, and be present. I've received lots of cards that that message that, just being present in the moment and needing to focus on that more than anything. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful. I feel really exhausted right now in general. So I hope that I had something to give in this. I'll see you in the next one.